Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Azem, featuring Jade, Gwyneth Johnson. And we are jumping right into our one of our favorite segments, Eat Local, with my friend, the global carnivalist. Welcome and good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, we're good. I'm just
Hi.
I'm admiring your swing, your aesthetic,
Right?
you know.
Thank you. Well, we said island tea, so I had to make myself feel like I'm in the islands as well.
What are you drinking? I saw last night that you posted that you will be having your tea. What's in the cup?
Yeah, it's just like a vanilla black tea
Oh, nice.
from
Okay.
William and
You know.
Sonoma. It's really good.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Delicious.
With a scone, I had to get my fake breakfast ready.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Your favorite breakfast.
I'm loving it.
So what's going on, friend? We miss you. I mean, we didn't get to see
I know I missed you guys too. Literally, I think you guys were one of the last few people I saw before the world kind of
Right?
Yeah.
Oh,
went
wow.
away.
Yeah.
It's true,
If
you
you
know?
think about it, yeah.
Yeah.
Had we known what we knew now, we would have partied a little harder. I think.
Oh my
I
gosh.
don't know if
I would
our
have
bodies
been
would have been able
on
to.
my-
You know what? You're absolutely
I would have been
right.
on
Jade.
my face.
You're absolutely right. But
Remember
we
you
thought
and
we might have
Kevon?
partied a little harder.
Yeah, you and
We
Kevon
were
was going
sick of
through it.
everything. We were going to. Yeah, we were going through it.
But yes, but for people who don't know who you are, who don't know what your profession is, what you do on a day-to-day basis, give the
I
people
just
a
be
little
chilling.
tea.
I just be chilling. So, but short intro, like I'm Globy. I'm literally just a carnival lover and pusher of the Caribbean all over, like every single island. I love our culture and want to showcase it to the world in an authentic way that's coming from us. And so that's just always been my story, like telling the Caribbean story from the Caribbean perspective, if you know what I mean. And through that, like I've been able to travel to multiple islands and countries to be able to enjoy the multiple different festivities, from going to different sets and learning each island's different culture is also part of it, because although we are all one, we are vastly different at each region. So yeah, that's just what it's been about.
So you said you go to different Caribbean countries and you learn about their Caribbean, their carnivals. What did you learn from Sugar Mass?
First of all, well, not that it has maybe anything to do with sugar mass, but I guess from the molasses days, you guys really know how to make a drink. Like it's wow. That was like every drink I've had in St Kitts was a little bit stronger than what I've had anywhere else. And the second thing though that I learned, what is it? Come on.
We don't use chaser, that's the problem.
That's probably why I was like, wow, everything is just wow, this is just so strong. But I mean, it helps because the parties go from 0 to 100 in 2 seconds. Because of that vibe. But the other thing I would say I love is how you guys really like embrace your local music. Like from the minute I landed, like yes, there's a variety being played, but I was almost forced to learn Kittitian music. So by the time is it Kittitian or Kittitian? It's Kittitian, right? Making sure I say it.
Petition, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Okay. I was like forced to have learned every single song. By the time I left, like I singing, Bad Bunny people sing singing all the local songs. So like I love that aspect of it.
Nice.
So that's what I miss for real. Like going to each place and then like whatever the local dishes are. I don't remember what St Kitts is because I was hungry every single time because we were fetching back to back. So I don't even think I got a chance
all
to
the
eat.
time.
Yeah, we were on the go the whole time. I don't even think we got a chance to eat for real.
No, we did, but most of the times we ate.
When Jade, in between running to outside, when you all were trying to find your fish sandwich, that time?
You see, don't say that like that. I mean, we did make sure you got some food in your system.
I was hungry. No, I was hungry every day.
Listen,
every
you and
day.
Kevon always hungry, so that don't count.
No, we were hungry every day.
Well, we were hungry because we didn't have the time. So
That's true. We did not.
Yeah, y'all, everything was a fet, then eat,
yeah. You
then a fet.
fed first, feast later.
Yes. So what have y'all been up to? Like, what's going on? Give me the island tea from St. Kitts.
Well, come on, you want to give us the bad news?
Yes, I
Bad
suppose.
news.
So,
I can't take
yeah.
anymore.
well, St. Kitts has been in a COVID-free
Okay.
utopia for over a year. and our utopian bubble finally popped. And
As bubbles do.
up until that point, we had like 60 something cases for the entire pandemic. And now that came to an end. We're now at 200 within the last
about 4 weeks. Yeah, about 4
And
weeks, Kevon. Yeah.
then yesterday we had our first
So what
COVID-related
do you
death.
guys think is causing this uptick? No. What's causing the uptick, do you think?
But we managed to not have any community spread. Like, so the cases that that were coming in were basically, you know, either nationals or visitors coming to the island, and they would be in quarantine. So, you know, it would be isolated until you get your negative results, and then you could join the population. We had a situation where there was a breach, which I guess could have been expected because the nature of COVID, it's kind of like hard for you to guarantee 100% that you keep it where you want it to be. But we had a breach, and then once it got into the community, then we saw it doing its thing. It had its own little
and then
fete.
it just went from there.
Yeah, it had its own little fete.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Like just when you think we're getting back into a groove.
Right. Oh boy.
Yeah. But on the upside,
which is
we hope things are improving. Well, we hope things are improving now. At least we have a vaccine, which is a very different dynamic than we were in even 7-8 months ago.
Yeah.
I think. So I think hopefully you guys get back on the lower end of that and can move forward.
Speaking
And then on the Caribbean scene hype side, carnivals and fetes are coming back. Like
Yes.
that's the next part of it. If we're looking at the happy side, and people are traveling again, passports are getting stopped. Like I found my little $4 pouch last night. I was so excited. Like let's start adding to this again.
I'm
Like,
I'm pretty sure our passports thought we got kidnapped.
yeah,
Because
passport dusty.
Yeah,
trust
dusty,
me,
dusty.
I could only imagine.
Sometimes I sleep with my passport just because I miss it so much.
Aww.
Yeah.
God.
Like, hey, friend.
No,
Oh
I
Lord.
know.
I don't even know where mine is.
Oh,
my God.
that's a travesty.
I know.
Yeah.
When
Don't-
is mine
don't-
expiring?
yeah.
Oh no, I got time. Whew.
I mean, and
But let's talk some of what's happening. So like you said,
Yes.
we see some fetes coming back. We see Miami Carnival is basically full steam ahead. And as the global carnivalist, you know, lots of people truthfully looked to you for assistance planning Carnival. You know, your Carnival calendars and itineraries were amazing. What is it like trying to get back into that? You know, it's been a long time. You had to put pause on everything.
Yes. So from my perspective, I'll give from both perspectives, right? Because I think from a consumer perspective, and just naturally being a patron, it's exciting. You're seeing new fetes coming out or fetes are coming back. It's kind of like a glimmer of hope, right? And I think there's a little bit of anxiety there for the people who might not necessarily be ready yet and or want to see how protocols and stuff are being rolled out. So I completely understand their perspective as well. I think as a creator and or blogger in this space, things are happening so quickly. Like yesterday, I was literally telling myself, I feel like my head is going to fall off. Because now that everything is picking up, it's back to back of things that are happening literally every week. And I don't know if you guys are paying attention. All of the parties, which thank God is to control, like crowd control, are happening in bubbles, right? And when I say bubbles, it's one city, one person is putting on that event for 3-4 days, right? You pump in that amount of time and then you put to and from. So if even me as a blogger and or patron, we're trying to plan this, like I think the new hiccup or hurdle to cross is like, okay, I need to be in multiple areas at different times. Like one time I'm partying in New York to now it's Florida. So I think it's fet hopping now. That's actually the thing. So that kind of creates a new experience for us to all get to enjoy. I think it kind of changes the dynamic of what the fet scene has been like before. I would say that that is the opportunity that COVID has created. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
It's also, I hope at least promoters are taking this opportunity too, because now project management has to kick in. You're putting on multiple events on one, in a shorter time span. And the thing of, this DJ didn't come or drink sellout is not an excuse. Like you're literally having me traveling here for 4 days to party. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think all of those things, it's changing. But I'm excited. Nice. I'm looking forward to it.
We're looking
Me
forward to
too.
seeing you
I,
because that's
for,
we have to live to you right now on the
Oh, well, what do
cat
you want to see?
pet
Let me
scene.
know so I'm making sure I'm covering for my friends in St Kitts.
well, for me, I'm excited to get back into the Fet life, but
Mm-hmm.
I guess as a fetter myself, I'm a bit. My hurdle is I don't know which Fet I should resume. I don't know when to resume
Okay,
because
so
there
question is
there
that
is
based
going
on
to be
yourself?
for me personally, because for me, I'm going to assume that the first few are going to be a bit of a trial and error, seeing what worked, what didn't work, and we don't know what the failure is going to look like. We don't know if that's going to
That's
result in
true.
COVID cases or if
That's
it's
true.
just poor planning. I don't know what that's going to look like. So for me, I'm just hesitating. I'm just really hesitant when it comes to what event I'm going to resume my Fet life in because I don't want to I don't want the one I go back to be
To
the
be
one that
the unruly one. Yeah.
the
I
big
could kind
one,
of
the big
help
one
in
that
that
pops.
regard. I could kind of help in that regard a little bit because now there's some event organizers that are the same ones putting on the event. So for example, Teach Head Crew, who's based in New York, they are now putting on their their third bubbled event this year, right? So you kind of get to look back to like April and see how that one did. I actually had gotten to speak to a couple people who went. So when I had decided to go to Fame like a week ago, I was like, okay, this is kind of how this is going to pass out because they had an event already. Jamaica, for example, too, this is their second event they're now doing this summer. The first one was Miami. They'll be doing New York in July. So you kind of get to see and monitor, like you're saying, Kevon, how they behave the first time. And you can kind of be like, all right, I know I can do this event with this group again. Because it's group setting now. I'm not really seeing too much isolated events just happening like on their own.
Yeah, what I've actually been seeing, and I have a lot of friends who are like involved in production and stuff for some of these events, is, for instance, you'd have a promoter who would literally like find a resort somewhere, book out the resort for a few days, and it's just non-stop events like during the whole time.
Pace.
Yeah. And I think people are enjoying that a bit because it's familiar people. Because some of the carnival troops I know are doing that out of New York. I'm going down to Mexico, finding a resort and just like living it up for like a weekend. So things are changing. I think we have to adapt, and I think that's what we're seeing.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think that's even the idea of how you're saying we can just book out the resort. What that does, remember, there's so many. So it eases the minds of patrons like Kevon, right? Where you have to go through certain steps for you to even go to the resort. You got to get a test.
Right.
You have to, you have to apply. You have to do like the insurance card. So we at least can hope to, at very minimum, you did those 3 steps for you to be here, that you gonna, kind of coordinate yourself accordingly. And when I went out,
and the controlled entry,
for the most part, right? And the controlled entry.
Well, I think we're in a position where we're just waiting to see what ours would look like, because I think we were actually right before we got our new cases. We were going to have a very packed weekend with events, but they had limited capacities. So I think, I'm not sure, but I know we're looking at other countries who are having events, and I know that means some of these events are fully vaccinated events and other protocols. So it would be interesting to see what we come up with after this new wave.
I would love to see that. Me too. It's interesting though, Jade, you mentioned about fully vaccinated people. And it's interesting because like there's people like Kevon, or even me for real, like I want to make sure I'm going to be safe. And then like I saw one promoter announce that his Fet was vaccinated people only, and you should see the response. So it's interesting. It's a lot of backlash. So it's interesting, like you want to be safe or not? Like which one?
And people want the thing.
People want the Fet full stop.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think maybe it's not the same one that you saw, but I know recently Private Ryan announced that his event, what's his event called again?
Soca Brainwash.
Yes, that would be fully vaccinated, and I know that he got a lot of pushback on that one from people who.
And in New York, at that where we had a big issue with our COVID cases, you know what I mean? Like. So that's interesting because it's funny how the world is, I guess, dynamic with different people, but it's just funny how some of us are like, oh my God, I don't know who to jump back with. And like, there's an organizer trying to make sure everybody's safe. And people like, oh yeah, man, I can't, like, I ain't coming. Like, whoa, sir. How did we get here?
Yeah, it's Azem just showed me a video and I want to cry now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he showed me a video of a it looks like a juve.
Well, yeah. Like I said, I was working with some friends of mine. They're actually a carnival troupe, and they did that whole get a resort and things. So they had a whole weekend of events, juve included. So, yeah.
That sounds dope. I haven't done a juve yet. I'm kind of scared to do juve.
Right? Because
I just feel like juve literally your mouth open, and when like people excited and whatever, I could just see particles flying around, and I go, I'm not there yet. It's already not event.
Yeah. For me, juve is extreme social interaction.
It's a little too wet for me. Right. I can't brush in juve, you know. I can't be in the VIP like, no, I'm good. I can't do that.
No, like
juve. You can't switch out the juve.
No,
I can't.
The dynamic of juve, especially, not even parade, because parade, for us, the first day is a little more reserved. The second day is kind of similar to juve, but the dynamic of juve is literal crowd interaction and everybody rubbing up on each other and alcohol flowing and all kind of things just in the ear. Like, people get paint and all kind of things in the mouth. So imagine
something drop on you, you don't know if it's corona or
you don't know what it is.
Imagine somebody splash corona paints in your face. Like, yeah, you don't know it's on the bottle or something. And corona spraying your face. I can't do that. Juve not for me yet.
I would pass out on the spot.
Listen.
No facts. Like, I'm gonna see y'all Juve in like a year and a half. Like, later.
Yeah.
After I get my booster shots.
Trust me, it's going to be exciting to see, and it's also going to be something very treacherous because now you have to put in place these barriers to protect people. You don't even know what the carnival committee going to put in place when it comes to these events. Because
these old people. I hope you guys are helping them out.
Oh no, we got some young ones. Yeah, we got some young ones here. Yeah. Our chairwoman is quite young and quite full of energy and accustomed to parties and stuff.
Not to be ageist, but I do think carnival committees need mixed groups because like carnival is moving forward.
They do.
And you need people that are forward thinking, helping to plan these things. And that's with anything. Urban planning, literally gardening, like there are new ways to do everything. We don't know everything, you know?
I completely agree because the only way for us to push forward is if we have some new and innovative ideas. And, you know, sometimes the older people not really too up with them.
They're stuck in their ways, man. Like,
yeah.
Like, okay, Spain used to do it this way 10 years ago, but this is not efficient anymore.
And while it worked 10 years ago, it does not work today, and we need to understand that. I think that being in denial about the fact that things are changing is what sometimes it keeps things back.
Yeah, and Corona literally showed us that we need to do things differently when it comes to carnivals and the exposure that people have to carnival, because, for example, our last carnival was virtual, and that brought a whole new dynamic to what we know as carnival, because this isn't something that we were accustomed to. Mostly, you only get to enjoy certain things if you are there physically, if you go to the shows, if you go to whatever they are having. But because of the fact that we have limitations now because of this pandemic, we were forced to go virtual. Words. And from what we saw, because even Azem was a part of the whole carnival committee, and they produced some really good things. So I'm hoping that they bring Azem back, because he's needed, and that they continue with the part that they're on, implementing the whole virtual aspect of carnival.
But I think the thing right now is it's just innovation, right? Like, you're not only gonna innovate like how we present carnival to people, but even how we interact at the carnivals, like
the experience.
and the experiences that we have, how the fets function, entry. Because it's one thing to be like, okay, guys, you have to do a test, you have to present this and whatever. But even doing those things, you have to maintain the entertainment factor. It has to be something enjoyable. The experience is what it's about, right? So you have to find ways to innovate even these things that on the surface look like so boring and more of a hassle than anything else, and create something around those things to continually enhance the experience.
I agree wholeheartedly. These things are necessary, and we can't go backwards. Not when we're in a better position. Not when we see the benefits of being innovative when it comes to carnival. We just can't go backwards.
I love that you guys are saying this, because I thought I was one of the few of the perspective that even though, yes, this last year and a half, last 15 months has truly sucked, I think what it allowed was for most brands, companies, people, individuals to kind of take a step back, reflect, and kind of adapt and be able to be, like, to evolve, right? Like, so the companies who are not necessarily tech forward, now you have the ability to do menus online or contactless delivery, right? So for the brands that necessarily didn't have a message or outreach program with their consumers, now they have one. The ones who didn't, have mission statements. Like, I've seen it along the way of even my day-to-day friends, just little things that people have picked up that they've had a chance to kind of widen their skill set in this time. So I hope everybody, like you guys are saying, are also taking it as the opportunity to, like, yes, this messed up, but this is how we can move forward. This is what we learned. Let's try and do this.
Yeah.
It's forced a lot of innovation, and I hate that this is what had to force it, but let's not waste the time.
They say God works in mysterious ways, right? So,
right.
I know what was big so we can take a step back.
I know what was big too is last year, carnival content creators, yourself included, your content is a lot of carnival, and people are looking at your pages for carnival, and then when carnival hit, a lot of people were struggling with content. How did you really navigate a time like that? Like, I know it was rough.
Bro, I almost took off my glasses. Like, I need to cry because I'm to be dramatic. So let me tell you, like, I feel like the first 3-4 months, especially for somebody like, and I'll even disclose this part, I travel for my job, like as a career, right? So in addition to traveling for work, I travel for carnival as well, which is like my hobby, that passion that makes money too from time to time, right? So when all of that stopped, in the beginning, I'm an introvert. So I'm like, perfect. Like, I have finally some time to, like, just sit on, right? Jade, you're laughing. I was excited. Like, first 3 months, I home, I clean, I do this with my yard. Like, I've never done as much kind of realigning and spring cleaning in my life. So even while I was doing that, creating was still an extension of, like, hey, I'm an introvert, so you can kind of see me being at home and being a carnivalist. But, like, we home, so it's good. I think once Memorial Weekend passed and I in New York and I realized we really not fetting, I think something started chipping my brain. Like, okay, so we really
no, this is inside.
Right, like we inside. Okay, because that really like once you see parties or staple things in New York, you know that because let's be honest, America don't really care enough about people's health to shut down everything. Everything is economic, right?
Yep.
So once I literally saw that, like, the economy was being impacted, I'm like, all right, yeah, we stationary for a while. So once I kind of got my grasp with that and realigned myself to the, like, okay, we in this for the long haul, it was really more so about showcasing a little bit more of myself, but also teaching more about the Caribbean. So I picked up, like, doing Caribbean Trivia Tuesdays, because I realized although a lot of people travel to and from the island, if they're not, like, living there, and I'll even be honest with you, a lot of the people, like my friends who I know living in the Caribbean, don't know a lot of things about the other islands. Or,
yikes.
So I picked up, like, I know, girl, but I take all of that data as a learning opportunity, right? Because you don't know what you don't know. If nobody just teach it to you, you don't know, right? So I picked up, like, little tidbits and things that I've been trying to do along the way to, like, educate about the islands, but still in a fun way that, like, I can still express myself, but kind of still meet in the middle. But it was rough, trust me, because, like, people not looking at you also as a person. Like, anytime you post something, it's almost like, oh my God, great content. But I'm like, damn, it's not content. Like, I just showed you, like, I love the color pink. You know what I mean? So you'll get that. Or maybe somebody doesn't even respond to the engagement, right? Because, like, you are showing a personal side and they're like, girl, I don't care about that. Like, wedding costumes. Or people literally talking to you like, I'm a customer service agent. Like, I'll just get messages like, when is this happening? Like, who are you talking to? Like, I'm a like, you don't think there's a whole person
Nope,
behind
they
it.
don't.
Furthermore, if you have a question for Quartz, go on message Quartz. Why are you in my DM? So like all of those things it was just an adjustment. I know any person that's a creator in any capacity of media, literally that is just taking photography to being at your house, like it's been difficult because we are in spaces that are interactive.
Yep.
Especially if you are in travel or you need to collaborate with other people. Like it was difficult. It was really difficult.
The entertainment industry on a whole, like
like girl,
this has been a struggle.
Absolutely.
It has
but
been
if
a
you didn't
struggle.
take that time, I would still say to pick up a new skill set. Like I had to kind of flip my perspective. The other day, actually, I wrote a list out of all the things and skills I learned while we were in like our quarantine time. And I'm like, you know what? Like Globes, you kind of had to look at it from a different perspective. Like, yes, you've been inside, but look at all of these things that you picked up. So that's how I had to look at it. But I know the entertainment industry, even in some islands, like Jamaica, for example, they're really trying to have a big push because that is a big part of their dynamic of their culture. So a lot of people still not making money, and that's their bread and butter.
Right.
That is a fact, and that is a sentiment we share, especially myself and Azem, who are literally a part of this industry and are unable to work. Like Azem travels for work, well, he used to. He can't now because, he's stuck here.
That's why I'm saying he's sleeping with the passport now.
Yeah.
He missed leaving.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Even and even for me,
health.
as a consumer of the products that Jade and Azem produce, I feel so. Yes, I'm an introvert. I love to not do anything and love to stay inside, but I need moments where I could just, have some fun and let loose and then go back into hiding. But being stuck in hiding for a long time is semi-stressful.
Yeah, tobacco and steroids.
Big move. No, but you know what it is? Another introvert said it perfectly. They were like, it's one thing when you want to stay in your house. It's different when somebody tell you to stay in your house.
Yeah,
that was the difference. Right.
That is a fact.
When I was out, I was like, okay, I stayed home because I want. I can stay home for 3 months, no problem. Tell me don't go nowhere now.
Yeah, like being forced to not be able to do anything.
Yeah.
Yikes. But Globes, we have to wrap up soon because, the essentialness of our work is coming to an end. But what will you be up to for coming up? Where are you going next to fill us?
So it's my birthday month, so July about to be lit. I'm just telling y'all that right now. I'm about to be wilding out. Like if y'all see me on the Empire State Building wilding out, close your eyes. Let me stop. I mean, I'm a wild out, but not as bad as that. But so Val weekend actually is coming up for Miami, and you guys know I love Lucian Carnival, so I will definitely be attending that. So thanks for reminding me. I have to start ordering clothes and all of those things. So.
Yeah, we're going to live to
follow
you.
me so y'all can be locked in because I'm going to have everybody boobies on the camera.
Well, we're literally locked in, so we have no choice.
Yes. Please do.
Sadly, yeah. But we'll be looking up for your content because that's all we might have to get us through this right now.
And for the people who
WINN is 98.9.
No, that was not me. That was technology. The ghost in WINN FM.
Yeah, but I guess he got jealous because I was about to ask her, like, where do people, contact her and follow up with her life. I want to live vicariously for you as well.
You can follow me on Instagram or TikTok at Global Carnivalist. So just the word Global Carnivalist IST at the end.
Sweet.
Or just go through Keezy's, let's call him Keezy because he's but go through Keezy's followers. I'll be there. I'm always in his comments harassing him. So
yes.
That option too.
But thank you so much.
No problem.
My
it was
friend.
fun talking to you guys. I miss you guys. I'll see you when I come.
I know, Lord, we miss you too, and we can't wait to party with you again whenever we're allowed to safely.
Yes.
Can't wait.
Yes, but guys, what today? I mean, even to be totally honest, I never feeling it. But it's Friday.
Today is let's just call it the 7th day of lockdown. Let's just call it that.
Okay, the 7th day of lockdown.
Yeah, we can't even say Friday. It's like usually Friday. It's actually just Friday today.
Oh my God. I don't even know Fridays are a thing anymore because pandemic. Every Friday is the same.
Every day is a
like
Friday.
we losing
Yeah,
track
every
of the
day is a
days at
Friday.
this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's either today, yesterday, or tomorrow. That's the only way I classify days.
And Sunday 3 days out the week.